Hello, guys. Good morning again. This is Sam. Okay, today we're gonna talk about the eight side by side cubicles, each 4 by 2, and the height is 54 inch. Now, once we talk about this one, there is how do we start? I want to go back to how the panels are manufactured. The panels are consisting of aluminum profiles that they are extruded and cut to certain sizes so they could provide us with the sizes that we need to set up such a model. In this case, we have actually one main size, which is the 24 by 54, 24 width, 24 inch, and the height is 54 inch. To give you a better concept, we are gonna use the following 2D, like the two dimensions where it shows like forget. I mean, this is like back to back also, but I mean it's the same concept that it's using the 24 inch by the 48. The 48 are 24 plus 24, so each cubicle from inside is 24 inch by 48, and the height is 54 inch. I'll show you now a real photo for how the two panels next to each other will look like. This is like, the two panels connected to each others. Like here in this case, like there are three panels, but this is another view for the two panels. We've taken the top part up out because you don't, I mean, just to show you, how it is like, interlinked. Though you don't really, on real life, you don't really need to take it out. I mean, this is this is another option for in case the customer wants to extend the current cubicles that he has. Okay, now we go back to the same shape. As you see here, like those eight cubicles use a certain wall to minimize the area that like the employees would use, and they have a line, and there are like eight people next to each others, and they enjoy the full privacy because they have like the two sides with the 54 high inch panels. Those panels, which we've started talking about, like they are consisting of aluminum profiles. Those aluminum profiles are like covered, from both sides with fabric. And let's see how the fabric is installed. The fabric is installed on a thin layer of sponge, and this thin layer of sponge is installed on a thin layer of MDF. What is the use of the fabric here? The fabric here is having a certain criteria that diversifies the sound signals. And what is the use of the thin layer of sponge? The thin layer of sponge, in principle, it absorbs a little bit of sound, so it minimizes the sound that is going to go to the other cubicle. And what is the use of the MDF? The MDF is like a solid board that like the sponge and the fabric is installed at. And let's see how, on real, like during the manufacturing, how that works. I will show you now. Now this is where the guys are like putting the fabric on sponge and sponge on the MDF, and this is how they staple it, like manually. This would give you a good idea how it is, and then we will show you now how it comes to be whenever somebody is trying to install the fabric. This is now a panel with now this guy is going to install the fabric from one side. He's already done it for the other side. He just slides it inside and then just press at the top part, because there's a spring steel that it will interlock the this MDF, which is covered by sponge and fabric, to the panel. Now we this will explain how those fabrics that you see are installed. And now we come to the point that we will talk about, but what other options do we have? We have different actually fabric colors. This is one of them. This is called caramel, and we have this one. This is called silver, and we have this one, which is called rose. And like those are for the fabric colors, but still we do have other colors, but like those are the ones that we think that is really mostly wanted. We know from customers. Now, how many like what kind of working surfaces do we have? Yeah, we have like 9 options. This is, let's say, the maple one. This is like another dark cherry. This is the like one of the colors. This is the mahogany, and this is the gray and dark mahogany. And then we have also like the light cherry, and we have the white color, and we have the gray color. I mean, we basically like offering the 9 different options, like for working surfaces. Though we're not really limited to those because we still can do more. I mean, if the stock or if the order is like, can like, if we can order a good quantity of those other colors, if I will call it, if you select another color that is not available on those 9s, and it's in stock with Wilson Art, and yeah, we don't mind to manufacture it because we do that actually. We do customize that part as per the customers. Now, how do we like? Somebody would ask, well, in the top part, whenever you have those panels connected to each other, how do we connect them? I will show you how this is really done through like a videotape that has been done already by one of our dealers. This is a real a live video from one of our dealers trying to set up like 2 back-to-back cubicles, and see, he's exactly following the same way in installing the fabric. He just slices it in, and then he just put it down, and then he just give it a push by his hand, uh, and that's it. It clicks. Uh, this is now, this guy is installing the end cap, which is like it covers the edge of the panel, because the panel, it is designed to interlock with any of the components that we manufacture. So in principle, that to connect any panel to any other accessory, either a panel or two-way or three-way or four-way connectors or an end cap, you need only 2 screws. And by the way, those screws are already provided by us. Okay, now, yeah, you see those ones here, like, on the gap between the top parts, which is on the left, bottom left corner of the screen. These are actually are filled in, like, by plastic pieces that they're like manufactured into the same color. I will show you here how it looks for that in such a case. Now, now this piece will cover the that gap between the 2 panels that you saw like up, just like in the videotape for this photo. Now, this leads us to, like, if there's a three-way, this is a three-way. If there's a four-way, this is a four-way, and and so on and so forth. Um, Now, talking about like, what if somebody asks about the electrical components? The electrical components, we in principle don't interfere on electrical, because the panels, all of our panels actually come with no electrical components installed in them. So, but we know that you can run certain types of cable management or harnesses if you're interested, or hard wires. Though we like, we do not interfere in that part, but it's up to you. We've tried those ones and they work perfectly, but like, as I said, it is up to you, because some customers just like leave it as is, or they run their own ways with power extensions, or like some are like with cable managements. I will show you now how the panels will, I mean, you receive the panels like this. They're packed with the shrink, and at the bottom you see like there's one hole here, and we cover the other one. These are basically like the two holes for each panel. Those are punches at the raceway um, that will allow you to install sockets there. This leads me to the point that somebody might ask, what about those raceways? I mean, how large are they? I'll show you now during the manufacturing process what that means. Now, this is I'm sorry, not this one. We will go for this one. This one now, this guy is like finishing up, he's just like fixing up actually a panel. And if you see that at the bottom of that panel, there's a track, and this track is basically the raceway. This raceway is basically now he's trying to cover that with the track cover, the raceway cover, we call it. And somebody might ask, how do we run those cables? And I will show you uh, on this. This is how like the depth and the height of the raceway. Now our guys were like this thing, running a feeder inside the panel, and we know that it works. But as I said, like we don't interfere once again on the electrical parts. Now, what is the MDF? How the MDF looks like? This is how the MDF is looks like. And now this is how he is trying to like stable the. If you see this white color, this is the thin sponge, and underneath that is the fabric. So those guys are like doing. They are installing the sponge and fabric into the MDF color, and into the MDF board. I'm sorry. And based on that, like you would have a full piece of you know a board like covered with fabric, from in a stabled. Um, See how it looks now. This is basically it. Okay, and now I think we want to talk about, what is the size of that? Raceway. This is the raceway cover. They've seen the guy installing it on the raceway itself, and this is a meter, and this is how those are the dimensions. Those are the punches that we would receive at the bottom part of each panel. Like each panel has two, and you would. I mean, it's up to you how many sockets to install in principle. Now, do we have a diagram showing how it is installed? Yeah, sure. And we've done this. Okay, like diagrams that you would receive. Either by a link, or like by email, or like printed out papers that you receive with the crate. Now these are like numbers. Though number 7, we have written a note there actually saying that you don't really need to take it out. Do not take it out, because this is meant to be if you have already certain panels and you want to extend them higher. We could still do that for projects, but as I say, like for like the standard sets, you don't really need to take it out. Okay, I mean that would save you some time. And these are like if you continue, this is how it looks, and this is how it works basically. So I think this, in principle, covers most of the things that you would need to know about this product. I hope I was able to give you a good idea of what the system is and how it is installed. There is still one thing that I think that you need maybe to understand also, which is like on each working surface we have those cantilevers. Either it depends upon the model, but in this case you only have the small cantilevers because the depth and the width of the table is not really large. and we those are made of steel 2 millimeter thick, and they're powder coated, and there are like bunches on the what do you call it, on the panels themselves, and the fixing accessories to receive those small cantilevers so they could support the table, and then you can screw them from bottom. And by the way, we also provide the screws. Well, how many people do we need to set up something like this? Well, just two people. I mean, you could do it like one, and like even somebody just to hold the panel until the main spine is done, and like the first or second cubicle just like installed so it's stable. But you don't really need more than two, and the three things that you would need to install it, just like a drill, and then a spatula, and then a plastic hammer. That's all you need. You need nothing more than that to set up the cubicle. And once again, thank you very much for watching this video clip or video. And if you need any further information, do not hesitate to contact us at 424-388-8142. That's 424-388-8142. Or visit our website at www.cubicles.shop. www.cubicles.shop. Thank you very much, and have a great